Hi my loves, thanks for returning. As you know by the thumbnail, this video is going to be on my favorite powder brushes. I have about 9 brushes that I want to share with you. So if you're interested in seeing what my favorite powder brushes are, then just keep watching. So I have all of my brushes right here. And as many of you know, many of the powder brushes out there on the market are multifunctional, meaning that you can use them for powder, you can use them to apply your bronzer. Some of them, depending on their size, you can use them to apply your blush. But the brushes that I'm going to share with you today, or my favorites, are specifically used for powder. Now, I do have some rather large brushes in here where they wouldn't serve as a brush to apply bronzer, but most of the brushes that I'm going to talk about are multifunctional. Each person is different. Some people like a very large powder brush, some people like kind of like something somewhere in between, and some people like small powder brushes. And I think that some of that could be to how quickly you want to do your application. It could even be due to the size of your face. It's just a lot of things which size powder brush or bronzer brush you would choose. Now I'm going to start off with the largest brush that I have, period. And this would be my IT Cosmetics. This is the Heavenly Luxe Jumbo Brush. And this is my absolute favorite brush to apply powder. And I know you're probably thinking, goodness woman, that thing is large. But the reason that I like it is because I can quickly get my powder on my face, and that's because it is so large. Now another use for this brush could be to just apply powder on your body, but I love it and use it pretty much every time that I apply my makeup, just to quickly get the powder distributed. Now I have had this brush for some time. Now what I can tell you about it is that it has held up very well. The bristles are very soft, they're synthetic. I have experienced absolutely no shedding with this brush, and I think it's excellent for powder. This I wouldn't dare use to apply bronzer because it is just too big. Alright, so next I have this Royal and Langnickel powder brush, and this is another large brush. And as you can see, it's not too far behind the IT Cosmetics Jumbo Brush. Okay, now of course the ferrule and the handle aren't nearly as long, but it is a very large brush. Now this is one of the brushes that I wouldn't apply bronzer with because I feel as though it's just too big, but I do like this one because I can get a quick application of powder using this brush. And I forgot to say that this falls under their Moda brand, and these brushes are so cute. You can get them in different types of colors. I got this one from Walmart, but I'm sure you can get it from the Royal and Langnickel website amongst other places. But this is another brush that has held up really well. I have experienced no shedding, and this brush dries really fast. So if you're one who loves big powder brushes and on the more affordable side, you might want to try this one out. So here's another Royal and Langnickel brush that I have, and I use this one to apply powder as well as to apply my bronzer. And I like this brush because it does have a lot of give. As you can see, the bristles are really soft. Now for some reason this one doesn't dry as fast as the previous brush that I showed you, and I'm thinking probably because of the shape of it, I'm not sure. But this is another brush that has held up really well, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm thinking that if you handle your brushes very carefully, or you know what I mean. I think that if you handle your brushes really good, I think that they'll last. I don't know. You can tell me your opinion down below. But this brush has held up really well. I haven't experienced any shedding, no ferrule separation. And this brush just applies a really even amount of powder, which means you can get an even application on your face. And as you can see, it has a shorter ferrule and handle. So it just kind of depends on the type of brush that you like, but this is a really good one. Oh, and another thing that I wanted to say, I've had some brushes where if the bristles are tinted, that when I go to wash them, that it'll stain my towel. I have not experienced any of this with this brush. This next one is my Marc Jacobs bronzer brush. However, I do use it to apply powder as well. This one is a very soft brush. It has held up very well. It's very weighty. It's really pretty. And you know, when I bought this brush, I thought that it was going to be a limited edition, but I still see that it is for sale. I've talked about this brush many times on my channel. I think this was just a splurge for me, and I really do like it to apply bronzer. But again, I do apply powder with it as well, and I find that with this brush it's really good for buffing out my powders. I think it does a good job of blending in very well. I think it's an overall good brush. So this next brush that I have is the Sephora Featherweighe powder brush, and the number is 91. Now I use this brush to bronze with, okay, as well as put my powder. I preferably like to bronze with, and that's because of the dome type shape, but I will powder as well. And I like using this one to really buff the powder and really get a good blend all over my face. What I can tell you about this brush is that it takes forever to dry. It even takes longer than this little girl right here. I mean, I don't know why this brush takes so long, but once it dries, it's a real treat to work with. I really do like it. I haven't experienced any shedding. They wash well, they hold up well. So yeah, if you're looking for a multi-functional brush where you can powder as well as bronze with, I would definitely say check this one out. So this next brush, I am really happy that I purchased. This is the IT Cosmetics Love Beauty Fully, and part of the funds goes to women that have cancer and to help provide supplies to help them look beautiful, such as makeup or makeup brushes, and I feel real good about that alone. That was worth the price of this brush. Anytime that I can make a purchase that will help support a cause like that is awesome. But this is a good brush. This is another one that is multifunctional. I use it to bronze as well as powder, and as you can see, it's got that dome shape, which makes it real good for bronzing and powdering. And again, this is another one where I can really buff all of the powder out and just kind of get a seamless look. Now this brush is another one that takes a very long time to dry for whatever reason. I haven't experienced any shedding. They wash well and they hold up well. It's just a really pretty brush. Plus, you are really helping out with a good cause when you purchase the Love Beauty Fully brushes by IT Cosmetics. Okay, so this is another powder brush, and this is one of my multifunctions where I use it to bronze as well as powder. Now it is, as you can see, it is rather, it is on the smaller side, and that's okay. This is the Real Techniques number 100, and this brush is another one that holds up very well. It dries really fast, it's very soft, and it does not shed, and it's good for bronze as well as powdering your face and getting a good blend. And this is a part of their gold medals collection. Now this one is new to my collection. Since I hauled this brush and talked to you all about it, I have used it. But what is really cool about this brush, which I didn't realize when I made the purchase and when I talked to you all about it, is that it's made to mimic squirrel hair, and it is the softest brush I own, literally. Now I haven't had it long enough to speak to how well it will stand up against time or if the brush is shed, but I have washed this brush and it didn't shed when I used it. So if you're not one that likes the big jumbo type of brushes like me, this would be a good powder brush. I haven't really bronzed with this brush, but I like to use it for a light sweep or light wash of powder. So this is a really nice brush. And the last one that I want to talk about is another Real Techniques brush, and this is a powder brush as well. I wouldn't use this one to bronze with just because of the shape of it. I just use this brush for powder just to kind of get a quick application. I like the bigger brushes because I like just getting the powder on. I don't like dipping in and out, I just I like to get my powder on and keep it moving. So yeah, this is by Real Techniques, a really good brush, no shedding, dries super fast. I mean, I don't even know if they designed these brushes like this to dry as fast as they do, but it's unbelievable how fast some of these brushes dry. But yeah, this is a really good brush, and overall Real Techniques is just a really good brand. So that's pretty much it. Those are all of my favorite powder brushes, and like I said, most of them are multifunctional, which means I use them for powder and to apply my bronzer. Do you have any of those brushes? Which brushes do you like to use that are multifunctional that you can powder and bronze with? Are you a fan of using the big jumbo brushes? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear about it. Thanks so much for tuning in, and until my next video, smooches.